If you're a young person consuming news in India today, you may be wondering why everyone's talking about the vice presidential elections. What's the big fuss, especially when the job is basically being a stand-in for the President of India and to rein in 250 screaming, shouting, unruly politicians. That is, run the upper house of parliament, the Rajya Sabha. And why do we care so much when the result is more or less inevitable that the NDA candidate will win? Let me tell you why. As a journalist, the newest thing about the VP elections for me is that I had to Google the names as soon as they were announced, even though I am a journalist. By that I mean that while they both held public offices, they're relatively unknown, or you could say that they don't have national recall. CP Radhakrishnan, the NDA's candidate, is an old RSS hand from Tamil Nadu who was accommodated as a governor because the party's then Tamil Nadu chief, K. Annamalai, didn't get along well with him. The opposition's candidate is a former Supreme Court judge, Justice Sudershan Reddy, who has given some notable judgments, including banning the armed group of civilians Salwa Judum in 2011. But when you look closer, the reason for appointing both is clear on either side. It's ideology and politics. When we talk of ideology, let's look at Radhakrishnan first. He belongs to what Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the largest NGO in the world, the RSS. Now, the most obvious observation I have is that since 2024 elections, when the BJP fell short, the RSS has seen a major spike in its importance, and the BJP's comeback in a state like Haryana and Maharashtra after poll performance in general elections were poor was credited to the RSS. And so, the decision to pick Radhakrishnan was done in perfect consultation with the RSS. They had to approve, and it may also be an indicator of why we don't have a decision yet on the other vacancy, the BJP party president's job. Second point I want to make about ideology and Radhakrishnan is that it backs a theory I heard in the Bharatiya Janata Party, that they are now going back to their roots and will prefer to have homegrown RSS and BJP talent for key posts. There was a time when they were in expansion mode and promoted lateral entries, people like Jagdeep Dhankar and Satyapal Malik. But now there is a growing feeling that they need to return to their key values, which only a foundational training in RSS or ABVP can provide. Let's look at Justice Reddy and the opposition's ideology now. First and foremost, what has been the biggest plank for the opposition? It's the constitution. And there can be no bigger personification of that issue than having a jurist. If that link wasn't clear enough to make an ideological point, he's also written a book dealing with B.R. Ambedkar's work, which is titled Preamble of the Constitution. And he's also on the right side of the Nehru debate, citing the first Prime Minister's work like Discovery of India and berating those who dismiss him. So the two men, Radhakrishnan and Reddy, rooted in opposite ideologies, will face off in the election scheduled for 9th of September, where members of both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha will vote. Now, the NDA's numbers are higher, even in Rajya Sabha, where they have 132 out of 240 seats. And traditionally, either the VP wins unopposed or the government's nominee always wins. But it's the margin that is significant. With Lok Sabha numbers having dipped to 240 for the BJP, they may see the smallest margin of 55% this election, although they're hoping to get other smaller parties like the Biju Janata Dal on their side. The big political takeaway, of course, is that the candidates reflect the party's aspirations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always looked at Tamil Nadu as going where the BJP has never gone before. The only southern state they have won till now is Karnataka, and if you speak to an ideologue, they'll tell you that their aim is to conquer the Coromandel region, the coast from Odisha to Andhra Pradesh and to the southern tip of Tamil Nadu. While they made their Odisha dream come true last year, Tamil Nadu has been dominated by Dravidian politics. Picking Radhakrishnan, who was the party's face in the state, would enthuse cadres ahead of assembly elections next year. Not just that, the party also felt that this would put their main opponent in the state, the DMK, in a spot. Can they afford to go against a Tamil candidate is what some people thought. Of course, that's too simplistic. After all, just because Justice Reddy is from their state doesn't mean that Chandrababu Naidu will hesitate to support the NDA candidate. And yet, Justice Reddy's choice was seen as a keen political move because it went beyond the simplistic my Tamil candidate versus your Tamil candidate. It's a nod by both sides that they see beyond the north for key roles. And that is important, not just for Tamil Nadu elections, but for Kerala, Assam and Bengal, all due next year. And finally, what we learned from the candidate pick, at least the NDA one, is that the BJP is done with flamboyant politicians. Appointing a Jat leader in 2022 who created trouble for Mamata Banerjee was convenient post the Uttar Pradesh results and eyeing the Jat votes in Rajasthan and Haryana. I'm talking about Jagdeep Dhankar, the previous incumbent and the previous vice president. But they realized that what they really needed was someone who has internalized the biggest lesson of the Sangh. However big you become, the party and the organization are always bigger. Even for a constitutional post, this is the one quality that the BJP loves the most in their choice of VP.